We're here to watch some videos until someone joins us.
I can beat drum.
On the last day of school at this high school.
Good to see you again.
You've made jumps in your understanding of technology. Big jumps.
What did you say?
You've made big jumps in your understanding of technology the past years.
I can beat drum.
He's not.
He says you'd advance in your technological skills.
No, I have a crew here that does that for me. Okay. Anyway, go ahead. What's the topic? What's the topic for tonight?
Our topic is evolution versus creation.
Okay.
It's supposedly an open discussion. We've given some ground rules already. Mostly one, which is no ad hominems will be allowed. We want to stick to the subject.
Good to see you again.
You've made jumps in your understanding of technology. Big jumps.
What did you say?
You've made big jumps in your understanding of technology the past years.
I can beat drum.
He's not.
He says you'd advance in your technological skills.
No, I have a crew here that does that for me. Okay. Anyway, go ahead. What's the topic? What's the topic for tonight?
Our topic is evolution versus creation.
Okay.
It's supposedly an open discussion. We've given some ground rules already. Mostly one, which is no ad hominems will be allowed. We want to stick to the subject.
Good to see you again.
You've made jumps in your understanding of technology. Big jumps.
What did you say?
You've made big jumps in your understanding of technology the past years.
I can beat drum.
He's not.
He says you'd advance in your technological skills.
No, I have a crew here that does that for me. Okay. Anyway, go ahead. What's the topic? What's the topic for tonight?
Our topic is evolution versus creation. It's supposedly an open discussion. We've given some ground rules already. Mostly one, which is no ad hominems will be allowed. We want to stick to the subject.
Good to see you again.
You've made jumps in your understanding of technology.
A genetic fallacy. He wasn't talking about the study of genetics. What? Wow. How detached from the conversation can you be?
Well, can't just signal to Lupin with that statement that you just threw out the word genetics expecting it to mean something, that Lupin is supposed to interpret that interaction as Mark just saying, genetics, and then just nothing else. That's apparently what happened there, and it's just classic cult leader mentality. He's giving his followers cues on how they're supposed to interpret reality as reality is taking place before their very eyes. It's not, once again, it's not indicative of somebody that has a strong argument.
It's baffling my mind to understand how Kent can be accused of making a genetic fallacy and then turn around and say, well, you just said genetics and we weren't even talking about genetics.
There is indeed their whole stream there by being critical of them.
That's my channel, Claude.
The DAL any time. Which even relative, his cousin.
Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Chuck. How are you?
Oh, my goodness.
How you doing?
I woke up today. I'm blessed. Tired.
Good.
Last night I had pretty beat up.
Well, I'm glad you came in, Stephen.
Yeah.
I was just letting you guys know, Lupin will probably be available for you soon because we just had to part ways with him. I heard you guys discussing it amongst yourselves, and I just thought I would be generous enough to come over and take the mystery out of it for you.
Wait a second. What happened? Did you shut down their show?
I did, yep.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, he took it upon himself to try to speak for us, and he was not cleared to do that.
Gotcha.
Yep. So, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. God bless all of you, and that should take the mystery out of it.
Well, thanks for that clarification.
Well, thank you for clarifying. I appreciate it.
Stephen, I would like to know why your moderators, and particularly Achilles, was allowed to break the rules of no insults with impunity. I asked you about it, and you said, well, he's a friend. Now, I got booted and not allowed in the comments even for asking about that. I just
C-Science was booted
pretty
6 times.
unfair.
Well, I mean, there were people booted on both sides.
No,
No.
The other people
Yeah. You know,
well, I don't want to argue. I mean,
if
I
you
was
can't
just
see
coming over
signs.
to explain to you guys what happened.
No, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's
Well, hold
I
on.
would just
hold
like
on a
to
minute.
I hope
know.
you guys have a
Wait,
wonderful
Claude,
evening,
Claude,
and God
wait.
bless you guys.
Wait, Stephen, don't. He left.
Don't go.
I'm going to give Stephen the benefit of the doubt since he was moderator and not a moderator, if that makes sense.
I
No,
mean,
I've got a
it's hard.
screenshot where he says, no, Achilles is my friend and a part of this show. So he doesn't hold him to account for anything.
Okay,
You know what?
I
just
stand
figured it out.
corrected, Claude, but I stand corrected.
I just figured it out. You know how many times Lupin was saying Steven shoulda, Steven shoulda, Steven shoulda? I don't think Steven appreciated that too much.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I'll be honest with you. I'm not actually surprised that Steven shut him down because he was kind of saying some what I interpreted to be kind of rude things about Steven.
Yeah, he basically blamed the catastrophe of that stream entirely on Steven's lack of moderation.
I noticed that when I was over there. I was like, whoa, this is a little bit out of turn. I'm actually not surprised that Steven shut it down. Honestly, this is going to sound weird, but I'd probably shut it down too. I think me and Steven.
Okay, I just got back, but it was a total fiasco I needed to solve with my fiance. What the heck just happened?
Steven came in and explained that the reason their stream was shut down is because Lupin was speaking for the whole group without authorization. So he has been dismissed from the group.
Oh.
Yeah. That was my response. Oh, okay.
I mean, if anything, that just goes to show me even more that maybe Steven he's like that shows integrity.
Yeah. And you know what?
Maybe it's just
really
like insulting over and over again.
Oh, thank you, sweetie.
It was dismissed. You mean like he's out of the group now?
That's what he said.
Yeah, he's no longer a Proverbs guy.
Wow.
But, you know, really, if you thought, oh, crap, I almost slipped on the ice. If you think about it, Steven wasn't the one pushing all the nonsense. It was Lupin, it was Achilles, it was C-Science. They were the ones throwing the wrenches. And, of course, Kent was being not a very good participant in the debate either, or the chat, but Steven wasn't instigating that stuff.
The only thing that Steven did that irritated me was he kept mischaracterizing my positions on purpose. But I think that was almost more of a playful thing, to be honest with you.
And I really hate to make this situation about me. I know. But I was going to go on that show, and I was going to have a spot on that show, and then Achilles told that to Lupin, and Lupin tried shutting that down on no authority whatsoever on his part. Like, he didn't have the authority to just say I wasn't allowed on there for no reason whatsoever, so... I mean, I'm not surprised to hear that he got comeuppance for just totally trying to take over a situation. I mean, this isn't exactly the first time that he's made videos on their channel without their permission. And I don't feel like I'm saying anything, like I'm not insulting Lupin's character when I say that. This is just something I've seen him do. He's gone and started streams without Steven's permission. And he's butted heads with him before about that. I've heard Steven tell Lupin, stop making shows outside of your pre-scheduled shows.
I just think to ride somewhere. I ain't done nothing.
He has 2 times a week that are dedicated to his show where he can talk about whatever the heck he wants, but he thinks that.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I just forgot. No, that's fine.
Hey, Brother Pike, could you mute your mic? Thanks, buddy.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Don't worry about it. But I don't feel like I'm insulting Lupin's character when I say that, because that's just a fact that I've observed. On their channel. Lupin does not
leave that to me.
The boundaries. Leave that to you, Claude. Oh, don't worry, Claude. I've been leaving that to you.
I don't footy pussy around, you know. I don't footy pussy around on this sort of thing. He's shot his load, and he's yeah. I've got no interest in his rantings and meanderings.
Although if he's not a Proverbs guy anymore, he doesn't fall under the truce anymore. Screw you, Lupin!
It is funny that the first thing Steven said was, "You guys can have him," or something like that.
Yeah. Did you really say you guys can have him?
It was something like that.
Well, I guess that whole I don't really like Lupin has finally come to pass. That whole I don't like Lupin and I don't really like him being around here. I guess that kind of came full circle. I'm surprised it took as long as it did, to be honest with you.
Well, you got me now.
I want two.
Boy.
Raja still had the
God of the Bible.
So, I don't know if there's anything. The geologic column, one for you sent. So, can you maybe elaborate on that for us? Don't give up your day job.
Volcano.
Yeah.
Anyway,
see Simon comes
just,
on.
Yeah.
And the gut gets me a bit on that. When he's talking with Grayson, is that he does this for it's to recognize that. The second thing is, just because you believe religion, I mean, I have a cat. I see the cat. I believe the cat. The cat religion.
Kitty.
Yeah.
A cat, Claude?
Yes, I do.
Oh, good.
It lives. I don't know if there's anything. The geologic column, one for you sent. So, can you maybe elaborate?
God, have you called me? I'm going to pick on one atheist, and I'm going to haunt him the rest of his life. I'm going to hunt him down and get him converted. Just you pick on one, get on his website, go on his channel. If he's got a YouTube channel, get comments, go to his rallies, offer to debate. If Michael Shermer was traveling around speaking, and that was your mission field is to be the sniper for him, get a bunch of flyers, you can make all the copies you want of my videos, if that'll help. Go to his rallies and pass them out. Some of you ought to say, God, have you called me? I'm going to pick on one atheist and I'm going to haunt him the rest of his life. I'm going to hunt him down.
Professor in the UK, he's a little bit famous. He's not religious and he wouldn't go public on this. But he said to me, Stuart, did you know evolution is like a magic wand? If you can't explain something, you wave a wand and you say evolution did it. You don't have to explain it. You just say, well, it just selected it because there were so many things.
Jako prawniczy instytut
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Daily.
Hi.
Hi there, how are you?
All right, how are you?
I'm well. I'm glad I could finally get on. I was having so much trouble getting back into Chuck's stream today. Can you hear me all right, or should I put my Bluetooth in?
I can hear you all right.
Good. I'm going to get situated here. It's nice to see you tonight.
Oh, thank you. Nice to see you.
You had quite a bit of shows today, didn't you?
Yeah. Duh.
That one with Chuck was a really long one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I actually like playing with this one better. It works better on my iPad because I can see everything better.
Well, I talked to Kent. He would like to debate Claude on my show.
You had an actual conversation with Kent? Did you call him? You called him?
Yeah.
So he'd like to talk to Claude on your show. How, did he say when or anything, or just
He
say
said
he would?
set up a time and he will debate him.
Go for it. Hopefully Claude will be on tonight. I see Aiden out in the chat.
Yeah.
So hopefully Aiden but Claude will be on tonight, and maybe you can find a time that'll work for him. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and what do you think of that Lupin got kicked out of the PG game?
I don't think it'll last. I didn't know that actually happened. Was he just stopped from that particular show the other night, or just gone for good?
I don't know. He was streaming earlier, and I guess he ended the show.
Oh, was that today?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Logan, I don't watch those things during the day. In fact, I don't watch anything unless you send me a link and say you got to see what's going on. You know.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh my goodness. Who else was on with him?
Achilles.
Was it him and Achilles getting into it?
No, they're on there watching that show the other day, talking about it. I guess he said, "Oh, this is what Aiden says." But I just had a conversation with Stephen and Achilles, and they told me that this is an A. Okay. Oh.
What?
What do you think of that? This is what Aiden said. He talked to
What
Steve.
I will say is I just had a conversation with Stephen and Achilles, and they emphatically stated to me that this isn't a ploy or a game. I don't believe a word of that. I don't believe a word from Stephen, and especially Seven, because Seven has proven to me to be nothing but someone that is all about himself. I've got a stack of emails that prove it. And I've never, ever, ever seen anybody in my entire life find so much fault with any translation, or he has got to have the Bible interpreted his way. And I'd like, he's more than welcome to come on and talk to me about that. I mean, he really is, because yeah. The Bible talks, Logan, the Bible talks about, if any man come after me, he must first deny himself. He must deny himself. It doesn't say first, but it says he must deny himself or deny self. And that is something that 7 has not done. He has portrayed to me nothing but a lot of arrogance and pride, and the way he just boasts of his authority to take and boot people off and take away the chats that they don't particularly like because they don't agree with him. If anyone was a Hovendite, he is. That's from my point of view. And I don't mind saying it where everybody can hear it, and I hope they do. I know for you, he's a lot of fun to listen to.
Yeah.
Some of us, he makes our blood boil. But I'm glad you get a big kick out of listening to him, because if I was to listen to him with your point of view, he's hilarious to listen to, because nothing he says makes sense or is accurate. Well, very little. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to say very little of what he says is accurate. But for you, he's really funny to listen to.
He's a crazy guy. Talk about we don't have imagination like AC's you waving at monkeys.
Isn't that silly? That's
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous. I mean, absolutely. He's pretty good with graphics, because I saw his monkeys and everything dancing across, and I thought, what the heck is this? And then I realized that's his way of having humor. And yeah, you're right. He's crazy. And anyone that's crazy, nobody here mocks him, but he's a laughing stock to people that call themselves Christians. And I know I'm speaking very plain, but I have listened to so much garbage come out of there, and so much insincerity. So I am glad that Logan finds a lot of fun in listening to him, because he's hilarious.
Yeah, him and his thumb is pain.
Yeah, that one's a good one. That one is a really good one. I have not had a chance to look at your shorts. Claude, I hope you come in. I've not had a chance to look at any of his shorts or anything, or any of yours lately. I understand they're very, very good, though. So, what principle is Achilles standing on? Lies? No, I think it's total ignorance. And sometimes when people are totally ignorant and full of themselves, it comes across as a lie. Whether he intends it or not, I don't think he thinks that he's telling anybody something that's wrong, Claude. And I hope you can come in. I hope Big BM comes in, because I watched your broadcast the other night, your after show broadcast, and where Stephen was on. And Stephen actually addressed something that he told me, and he mentioned my name. So I would like to tell you, and then I'd like somebody to take a clip of it and post it. So I'm going to wait until you and maybe BBM and others might come in.
Oh.
I want everybody to hear it firsthand.
Yeah.
I would like to talk to him face to face with his pastor about this. It had to do with something he told to me in what was supposed to have been a private conversation, but he didn't make it private, so I went public with it. The beginning of January on your show, as a matter of fact.
Oh.
Yeah, he is funny.
Yeah, he's a crazy guy.
Do you know what would really be funny? You like to do shorts, right?
Yeah,
And you like to put people's faces on them.
yeah.
I don't know if you have any face. I know he's been on camera a few times, and I don't know if somebody can send you screenshots of that. But it would be fun to put his face, his actual face, on monkeys climbing around in trees and stuff. That would be hilarious, don't you think?
Yeah.
Achilles attacked Mark Reed personally.
He
That
still
broke
denies it.
rules. I don't think Achilles was not in that peace card. I don't think he has agreed to any rules. And um, the reason I'm speaking out today is because Logan put on a thing, and I said the first person that puts out a link, I'm going to join in and wait for others to join in the conversation because I would like people to hear it. And I don't mind if it's shared. Seriously. I'm gonna sit on it for a little bit though. I was just, when you posted that, I was just getting ready to say if anybody goes live, let me know.
Oh.
Because I have been laying around for 2 or 3 days thinking about this.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
And we can always do this tomorrow. People can kind of get a little glimpse, and if you're going to go live tomorrow, or Chuck does, or somebody, I might not. There might be a time that I can't do it because I'm in a place where people are coming in and out and everything right now, and I really don't have.
What temperature is
privacy.
it, right? Oh, sorry.
What is the temperature right now?
Yeah.
Well, let me get my phone and actually look.
It's 10 degrees where I'm at.
It is. Well, let me find out real quick. I'll know here in about 2 seconds. Well, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 13.
Wow.
But it is very windy, so with the wind chill, it feels like 1.
Wow.
However, the sun came out and melted all the snow that we got.
Oh, that's nice. I have zero time for any of the power sky. That's what Claude said.
Well, I do too. Now, I'm going to put it. I'm going to tell you, Claude, since you're listening, it isn't any of them. Some of them are extremely, extremely good people. Larry, and Cindy are amazing people. I've talked with both of them, and I know Ryan is a very nice person, and the people that he has on his shows, the ones that are the leaders, the ones that are chummy buddy uh, with the main people. Uh, they're the ones that are creating the major difficulty. I believe. And now they have Logan. Did you know they have a pastor now? That they selected a pastor, and I do think that. Um, Hang on just a minute. I gotta mute my mic. Somebody came in.
Larry, I think.
Larry is the pastor. Hold on just a minute, Logan. I got somebody in the room I have to talk to.
Oh.
Logan, hold on for just a minute and play something because I've got some people in here and they're busy doing things, okay? I love you. Be right back. I'm leaving.
There's Stony There's Quad Army. There's Quad again. There's Litter Quad. It's a Litter guy. Double 7 Club. There's a man who.
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
I'll talk about the end.
The life that I never had, I can see it's sad, even when you.
Raja still.
Oh, come on.
Like that, like that, boop, 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 like that, boop.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Are you there? Let me turn
Yeah,
your
man.
volume up a little bit. I'm sorry. There's going to be where I'm at. People come in and out and in and out, and I've got to tend to them when they come in, or they're tending to me. One of the two. Anyway, what were we going to talk about?
Achilles.
Oh, yeah. He attacked Mark Reed personally. That broke the rules. I'm going to tell you that, yeah, we were talking about other people in the room. There are other people that are good people there. Larry is, Cindy is, Ryan's a good guy. I mean, he really, really is. I don't know about the ladies, and when it comes to the other ones, I think the ones that are really causing the problem. But we were talking about the Proverbs guys actually have asked Larry and Cindy to become pastors over their ministry. And they've got a big job to handle. And I know Cindy has been in on some of the live streams. And I've talked to them enough to know that they are going to do everything they can that a pastor would do. And to not necessarily reconcile this community and the PGs, not necessarily to reconcile that. It's like Cindy has already said some things that have affected some of the people within this community. It's like, Aiden and I was listening to Christian today and so forth. And I think that right now what's going on for everyone, Claude, I want to tell you, I listened in on your show and I really wanted to get in on that. And I fell asleep. I fell asleep, and then when I listened to it later, it's like, oh my gosh, why didn't I hear my alarm? But Stephen was on there, and I would have confronted Stephen. I do want to confront him face to face. I don't think he'll do that. I want to confront him with his pastor, probably in private and then also in public. He does owe several apologies, and what he said regarding, and he mentioned my name, and that's why I'm even speaking out about it, is that I remember that conversation, that particular part of the conversation, word for word. And I conveyed the message that he asked me to convey word for word. And the word for word that I delivered was not the word for word that he said that he had said. So I need to talk to him about that. I just want everybody to know. That message did get delivered. It got delivered word for word the way he gave it to me. And it was not what I heard him say on your show the other night, Claude. Anyway, gangster.
Yeah.
Back to you think you're going to do some shorts with him and monkeys and bananas and stuff?
Yeah. Sorry. Do you think
that could be fun?
What would you do if Kaylee's came on here?
Right now?
Yeah.
I'd talk to him, but I don't think he has enough courage to come on. I don't think he wants to talk to me. Not even face to face, just voice to voice. I don't think he does.
Oh, sorry about that.
Well, please don't be sorry about that. That shows his character. Kent Hovind is another one that won't talk to me. He doesn't want to talk to Mark. He doesn't want to talk to me, and there's a reason why. And I personally wouldn't even debate him on anything that has to do with his doctrine, because that's been thoroughly discussed, or anything regarding his nature. I have a message from God from him, and when I told him that, he said, "What, can't I hear from God myself?" And I said, "Evidently not." And he walked off. Didn't want to hear it. I'm still holding that. I still have it.
Oh.
And if he will ever talk to me face to face, I'll tell him. But I'm not going to tell him over a live stream because it's for him personally. He will not do that. Because he has made it real plain to everybody except me, because he won't tell me face to face that I'm not allowed on DAL property. And I didn't do anything. I really didn't.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right, Logan. You know what? I love you. That just happens around this place, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that you stood up for yourself and went into a meeting. Though I was really proud of you.
Oh, thank you. What do you do if can't debate it Claude on here?
I would listen in. I wouldn't join in because I think Kent would get off, but I would listen in, and I probably wouldn't chat, but I would certainly go into the after show.
Yeah, that would be crazy if we got him on here and stuff and
Well,
debate.
if Claude, you're listening, would you, if you're willing to do that, if you will get with Logan as to when would be a good time, maybe what Logan needs to do is find out what is a good time for Kent, a good time frame, like certain days and certain times, and then get with you and see what would work for you.
I
So
can have Miss Maud be the moderator.
why not you?
She'd be better at it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, either her or no, I don't think Chuck would be. Neither Chuck nor Missy Maud would be neutral. We'd have to find somebody that's fairly new to be. You know what? No, Billy couldn't even be neutral. Who could be neutral? I'll tell
Brother
you,
Pike. Okay.
Brother Pike. Brother Pike would be a very neutral person because that's in his personality to do that.
Yeah. Well,
Because he said today he he doesn't have any ought with Kent, so he would be the perfect moderator for you.
yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
See what you can set up. I would start with go back to Kent and ask him what days of the week and time would it be best for him, and then you will get with the moderator and with Claude to find out what would be best with them, and then you can set it up that way.
It's funny what Claude said. He says, here's my top 7 proof for evolution. One is that your tax crimes.
Could I tell you about that show you guys had today?
Yeah.
Where I am, everybody was taking a break, and they were all on their phones, and they had their earbuds in and everything. And I was listening to you, and you were laughing, and I was laughing so hard with you, but I couldn't get on the stream because I had to do some restarts and everything on my iPad and on my phone, and then had my earbud in and I was listening to y'all to the conversation this afternoon. It was hilarious. And then when they asked Chuck if he had drank too much coffee or something like that because he was actually being funny and having fun, and I wanted to say, if I had been there, I'd have said, no, he's had too much Benadryl and smoked too many cigarettes, So, or NyQuil, is that what it was that he was talking about? Too much NyQuil and cigarettes. Yeah. It was hilarious. I was in a meeting. It was a tense meeting, and the laughter and the levity of listening to this community talk was such a pleasure. It was so unstressed and just it's unstressed. There's no stress, no condemnation. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping others would join in. I'm kind of think it's and Billy too. That whole show was funny. Yeah, I'm just sorry that people aren't coming on right now, and it might be because I'm here, but then I'm joking about that.
No, I don't think it's because he is. Probably they're
Well,
all tired out, I guess.
I kind of think they are. I Today was a long stream, and I think Aiden's probably working. Aiden is working.
Mark's having a little nap.
He's having a nap. He needs one. He's going to
Yeah.
go live tonight, I think.
Yeah. That was funny of Quad. He's
It
funny.
was. It was. Oh gosh, he's so funny. And he is factually funny. He can take he can take serious things that are truth and just make it into what's called a parody and just make people laugh. And he he is such a wonderful, wonderful addition to this community. I I don't think the communities will ever blend like it would be hopeful for them to. But however, I've seen that Awake has come over into some of the chats. I have seen where um, Ryan has maybe joined some of them and maybe a few others. And there was a group chat started. You're part of it that Ryan had started where people could post their streams. I think I think this community has posted more streams than they have, and I hope they do post their streams. Right now, I don't feel like I can go into any of them. I would probably listen to some of them uh, after they're live, maybe, during my spare time.
Yeah. He also talked about evolution of taxes. Oh, it's just so funny.
Who was talking about the evolution of taxes?
And he was saying that when he would bring up, he debated it. It's just funny.
Was that Claude?
Yeah.
You know what? He strikes me as the type that could talk about the evolution of taxes.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, what you would do if Steven came on here?
I would ask him openly about what he said on Claude's channel the other night, and why he says one thing and then 2 days later he's right back with the same. Well, you know what? The night of the peace talks, I don't think his attitude had changed because for him to make that type of statement that I read, when I came on to the peace talks and I read that I saw that and that just sickened my stomach that somebody could be in a peace talk and talk to someone in our community or any community with that type of vile comments and be proud of it and be boastful and say, I did that. Because he kept saying the same thing over and over again. Well, are those the ones that were deleted when he said nobody had been deleting anything? I just, yeah, I would. I'd confront him openly. But I'd be nice about it the same way I'm talking to you. And if I didn't believe him, I'd tell him, I don't believe the words you're saying. You're not sincere. Because I'm just tired of people placating people and being mean about it. But we can do it, and we can just tell it the way it is.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that there still can be people crossing barriers and so forth. And if different ones want to go on to Stephanie's program or Mark's or something, that we can all join in other places and be civil to one another. Oh, who's coming in?
Hi, Claude.
Hello, it is I, Claude.
Oh,
Claude of the Bars. Yeah.
I love you. You're
How
so
are you?
You're
Join
such
the queue. Join the queue.
oh. You want me to join in like with all the rest of the women that are swooning at your
Well,
feet?
it's just there's all sorts after me, you know. Yeah,
Well, I
so
know.
I know it's a bit of a tough life, but never mind. Someone has to do it, as they say.
I get that. And that's why you go under an assumed name sometimes.
Well, you know,
That's
when I use a different name, it is because I've been blacked.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, I get blocked all the time on different. You know, when you hear someone like Proverbs Lies saying, "Oh, we're gonna have a show and everybody's welcome, and you can all," and as long as you're not rude to someone, you won't get turfed off, and but there's no personal attack. So then you point out that one of their hosts with a wrench has personally attacked another person, and you get thrown off. I can't believe it.
It's not right because you're stating truth, and only people that do not like truth
Yeah.
run. Claude,
Yes.
the show where Kent was going to come on live, and evidently they had a pre-show, and you actually came on there. I watched
Yes.
only about 30 minutes of that,
Yeah.
and it happened to have been when you came on, just
Yeah.
before you came on, and I mentioned it in the comments and so forth, and I mentioned to somebody else that's a key person that Stephen was baiting you. His conversation, I could see it. I could see it in his. I could just see it. I could hear it in his voice. He was baiting you when you came on there, and I was so proud of you because number one, you kept your cool. Number two, you didn't take the bait, and number three, you were being very, very mindful of the respect of the offering of a peace accord. And I just tell you, I was so proud of you representing the other ones in this community, especially yourself, in not taking the bait.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I tried not to. What I funny was, I didn't know there was that little show, but I just chanced upon it, and then what I heard was Stephen saying, "Oh, the atheists will be too. They won't come on. They'll be too scared." And I thought, "What? That's not a very good start." First of all, I didn't even know he had a pre-show. So anyway, you just have to laugh because otherwise you'd cry.
Right. But I just wanted to tell you that personally.
Thank
As
you.
I was watching that live, I'm thinking, don't bite the hook. Don't bite the hook that he's throwing, and you didn't. And that just goes to show your absolute wonderful maturity level and your sense of humor and your honest heart.
Well, at that stage, I was still thinking it was hopefully genuine. You know, I had my doubts, of course. You know, you have your doubts about these things, but I thought, no, we'll just see what's happening. If I sound a bit funny, it's because I'm driving the car at the moment, and I'm on headphones, you know, with a thing, hands free. So it just might sound a bit different. I don't know.
To me,
But
you
anyway.
sound absolutely fine.
Oh, well, yeah, many people say that too. Yes. Poor old Claude. Anyway, so I took it for face value, but I soon and then they laid down the rules, and Achilles was laying down some rules, and Stephen was, well, that's fine. I thought they apply to everybody, no personal attack, no anything, and then of course that is exactly what happened. You know, and I got in trouble, you know, because we had to keep relevant, right?
Okay, well, I'd asked Mr. Owen a question, and apparently I butted in. Well, if you don't actually try and you never get anywhere with that lot. There's always someone going to go on for longer. So I got my question. It was absolutely fine. It was accepted. And the follow-up one, because he immediately boasts how he taught earth science 15 years, I thought it was a natural question. It'd be like you saying, if I said I was a brain surgeon, you say, oh, really? You're a real brain surgeon? Yes. Or did you qualify? No, I just drew it out of a cereal packet. No, so I just asked him a normal question. Where did what's your qualifications? Because of this teaching of earth science you did. And immediately, before I'd even asked, so I can only assume that they were embarrassed. I mean, fancy being embarrassed about a man's qualifications when he has 4 doctorates, they're embarrassed about that.
Exactly. When anyone is absolutely qualified, I mean, you and I both know business professionals.
Yeah.
Where I'm at today, I sat with 2 of them. One is a vice president, has been just retired as a vice president from a major bank
Yeah.
in a large city. And if I ask that individual, either in private or in public, what qualifications did you have to be a vice president of this particular area of the bank, and they would have been glad to say, well, I had this much schooling, and I went and I had this much training and much training in compliance and everything else, and just gone ahead and said, well, these are my qualifications, because they have nothing to hide.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a gotcha question. I
No,
can
it
only
wasn't.
assume that it was just normal. He was the one that started it. So am I to assume that any baboon can go and teach subject in the United States without actually having any expertise in the field? And I'm afraid I have to assume that, because I haven't been told one qualification. I'm not talking about at high school. Obviously, you would expect them to have a higher qualification than merely having attended high school. My teachers did. They all had bachelor or masters or whatever, and not just someone who come off the street and after folding a paper aeroplane or shooting a rubber band demonstrated to that school that they were great at their field. I mean, it's just bull. So now I'm going to really enjoy all that.
Well, I'm going to look forward to watching your shorts and everything when I have time. It was fun. I'm going to tell you, when I was there and spent that time, and he had these big dishes, satellite dishes.
Oh yes, that's
and actually, I don't know where he picked it up. Or where he learned it from, maybe from a book or something, but to be able to place them at certain spots and be able to speak into a dish way across, I don't know how many hundreds of feet, and talk into it and be able to hear it echo back. There were a lot of things there that were very amazing, and I saw a lot of people, and even on that one myself was quite amazing. And I don't remember how to shoot a rubber band straight, but that's physics,
Yeah, but it's not exactly at the cutting edge. It might suit the sort of low level schools that he was at, perhaps. I don't know.
I think he was teaching I don't think he's ever taught in a public school. I think he was teaching and I'm going to put it, I'm holding up fingers and making air quotes right now.
Yeah.
Christian school.
Yes, well, there are Christian schools and there are Christian schools. Some are accredited and meet standards, and others are rubbish, and that's the ones he must have taught at.
Well, I think Mark would be able to tell you, because he's done the research on it.
Yeah.
The name Hiles Anderson is coming to me.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm thinking it was schools associated with him and his church. Now, I don't know if that's accurate, so please don't.
I don't think it is quite,
but that would actually
It's around
possibly be a
that.
step up, which is not
May-
saying much.
Maybe, I don't know, but there are some people that would know what
Look, I think we can not even bother trying to find out, because Ken could just tell us and then we could, check it. But look, I think it's fair to say that the schools he taught out were rubbish, and I'm afraid, and didn't churn out people that went on to have any sort of future. Now, that not everybody can go and do that, but if you're going to put yourself out there as a teacher in l'école, then you have to, you at least have to know a lot more than how to shoot a rubber band and fold a paper plate. Or, he's very good at reciting body parts. You'll talk about, get on a list and you'll run. It's like I can sing that skeleton song, the neck bone connected to the chest bone, the chest bone connect, all that sort of rubbish. That's just pure memory of it's not understanding. It's just reeling off stuff that you've memorized.
You mentioned memory.
Yeah.
When he took me, I was there 2 or 3 days, and I finally went on a tour with him, and this was right after we had met, and then I would hear him talk to people all the time. He would be, when little kids would come in, he'd light up and be like a little kid. And I would hear him say the same thing over and over and over in repetition. And he gave these tours, and he would get. I didn't go on the tours, but I know that he was training people. This is what you say here, and so forth. And there was a training thing where people had to learn the little speech that's given at each section. And I asked him, I said, doesn't that get boring or something to that effect? And he said, no, catch this, it's like teaching school. You memorize you memorize the lessons and
The curriculum,
teach
yes.
the curriculum and teach it word for word. So that's what he did before he started losing his mental capacities. I think he memorized the subject on okay, we're going to teach on this today. And he taught the same thing for ever how many years. So when it came to that, all he had to do was refresh his memory and quote it word for word. There was no personal teaching. It was all something that he got from something else.
Yeah.
Now, that's my personal viewpoint based on what he told me. Even when Cindy would do the inside tours in the Science Center, she didn't have a script like he did. She would talk about this, they asked questions, she could answer and everything. And she wouldn't necessarily cover the exact same thing exactly the same way each time. It was always just a little different, but with him it was never different.
Yeah.
He told me he
no, it's just
yeah.
Yes, he just so anyway, I think, from my point of view, I think the Proverbs guys have a show with Brett Keane, another interesting person, but a person that I don't admire at all.
Is he coming back again?
Yes, it says on their stream that he's going to join their thing. So I guess he'll be there as long as Mark isn't there, because Mark called him out the other day.
Gosh.
Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that. Why do people who live in glass houses throw stones? So Brett has done these terrible things. He's put on porn on people's channel. He's used bad language. And then he goes on saying, well, you shouldn't do this or that. And it's exactly what he's done. And then he gets called out for it and he doesn't like it. And he does, I don't care. What a load of hogwash. So, you could never take notice of that man. You know what he should do is get at it and get a real job. Get a haircut and get a job. That's what we used to say. Old people used to say to us, obviously in French. Get a haircut, young man, and get a real job. Yeah? Well, that's what they should all do. That's what Lupin should do. It's just nonsense. They're spending all these times. I don't know how they earn a living. He could get a job sweeping up somewhere or whatever.
I think with Brett, and that's not a defense, but just from what I've heard and what I've observed, Brett and both Brett and Lupin have got physical ailments probably did not allow them out in the workforce. They
Oh, well.
probably have anything better to do with their time, and
Yeah.
instead of doing something constructive, I think
Yeah.
uh, Gangster is doing something constructive in that
Yes.
he's hosting these things instead of just constant. Because I never hear Logan ever putting anybody down.
No, I
And
never go after decent people. You'll notice that. I never go after decent people. But these a-holes who get on there and trumpet about what you should be doing and blah, 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 and that's just not acceptable to me. Yeah.
yeah, well, it isn't to me either, but there are people like yourself
Oh, yes.
and others that are doing it, and I realize what you're doing. It's not. I'm going to use the term mocking. You're not mocking these people, but you're using parody and you're using humor to make a point that other people might share it and might see what's going on. And quite frankly, I think I sent a link to your stream to someone to look at. This is the stream that you had. What was it, last night or the night before when Stephen came on? I sent a link to someone to look at, and I think that by you doing those, and for us to be able to share things like with you and Mark and BBM and even Cindy have been doing, we can share that, and you may not get a whole lot of views, but when we can share that, if it opens the eyes of one person and one family, it's worth it because that's one less person that's deceived. When I went to DAL, it was at the recommendation of someone that they had been a devout Kent follower for 10 years. Neither one of them had, a married couple, neither one of them had ever missed any of his shows, and they had just been to DAL to visit. They only could stay 3 or 4 hours. They took the tour. They were impressed. They mentioned it to me. When we first met, they gave me something from there. I had given it away. And they said, if you ever have time, maybe you would like to go there and volunteer because they're always looking for help. And so I just happened to be in between volunteer situations. And I thought, I wonder where that place is. So I called Mike and I asked him, and he just gave me the name. He said, I can't give you phone numbers or anything, but here's the name. Never even mentioned Kent Hovind. Then I went down there in January, spent a week, and was shocked. Left there, and I asked Jesus, I said, I don't want to go back there. And he said, yeah, well, you're going back in 2 weeks. Call and make a reservation. So I did. And when I was there, I heard more than I wanted to hear. Who was it? Someone, I was listening to it live. Someone was talking about the time frame of the meeting in the kitchen and the outdoor meeting with Cindy, and when she ran off crying, and then the drug things. I can't remember who it was that was talking about that, but I was there to watch. I wasn't there the night I had to take about 3 days off the night of the uh, event where Cindy went screaming. I had just got there right after that, but I was there for all the drug testing and everything else, all of it. But because I wasn't a full-time volunteer yet it did get there. But I wasn't invited. I wasn't asked into any of that, and I wasn't talked about much. But as I was watching all of this stuff unfold, I was like stunned, absolutely stunned. And that's why Yeah, I've got to. Yeah, it. And then I see people like you and Cindy and Mark. When Mark left there and he started, and after about 6 months he started saying something. I told him, I said, I'll back you, and I back you in what you're doing because you're presenting truth, but you're presenting it a fun way, Claude, and I really appreciate that. It's not in a hateful manner. You're just putting it out there, and you're poking fun at something that's really a crime, but you're presenting it in an excellent way. That's just my view from an old lady of 24.
Are you still there, Claude?
Yes. Are you going to keep an eye on the Brett Keane, Stephen Andreas Lickerley's show that's coming up, or are you going to
Well,
ignore
is
it?
that tonight?
It's like
Or
about 1 minute. Yeah.
oh, is it really? I'll tell you what. I may or I may not. I may just kind of peek in on it from time to time. It's Brett King and Seven. And by the way, I like the way you say his name.
Yes. Well, I'm going to call him that from future because that's all he is. I have nothing good but contempt from now. He has crossed the balls.
Oh.
Well, I'll tell you what. He sent me an email that says, and I don't have it in front of me to quote it, but he sent me an email that said that something about wasting his time.
Oh, that's all right.
But yeah, well,
Anyway,
look
I
at
won't.
it.
I
You
won't. I
wasted
could
a
go
mine,
on.
but huh?
Yeah, I could go on about the fool, but it doesn't matter.
Well, you know what? It's not worth it.
No.
It's not worth it. Are you going to go over and listen to that program?
Well, I might have a bit of a listen, but I won't be able to participate because I'm blocked. According to us, Slickerleys, I have a lifetime ban now. Lifetime.
Lifetime.
Banned forever.
Hey, well, listen. Remember, if you are, he did it, not Stephen, and he was not part of the peace talks.
Yeah. Oh, yes, but Stephen let him off the hook.
I get it, but you see, there
Hmm.
to some people, there's a way around it. See,
Yeah.
that's the back door.
Yeah.
If you're going to go over there, Logan, I know you probably want to go over there and watch that, don't you?
Yeah.
Why don't we go ahead and do that? And I was sent some videos that I need to preview to send to somebody. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I will get over there from time to time and keep a look
And
in.
if I get angry enough, we'll have an after show with Ghost.
Well, then somebody send me a link.
Ghost, an after show. What do you think?
Yeah, that'd be good.
And then somebody will have to have one after that.
Yes, then we have to have another after show. Okay, good to talk.
And maybe it'll be late enough to where it'll be on Mark's show, and we can do it on his channel.
Oh, Claude, tomorrow, do you want to still do that response radio?
Yeah. You're going to do it about 12, are you?
Yeah, 12 minutes.
That would be good. Yeah, I'm sure the others would like to do so. So, no, I think we need to whack a theist, All
right. Well, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. I'm on a different thing, so I'm going to let you close the stream out, and I don't know how to leave the room. I love you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for coming on.
That's no trouble. I couldn't come on all the time, but I could just do that last bit. It was good.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.